main confidant in the competition was Tita Jerry from Aces and Queens. And every single day he would message me something new. And he would say, for example, he would say, don't forget to write in your gratitude journal what you're grateful for, what you're proud of. And that really kept me sane in the competition, because when you have so many people not just commenting on your post but also messaging you privately with all the things that you did wrong, having someone in your corner telling you that there's at least 3 things every single day that you did well, that you deserve to feel proud of, that is what kept me going, and that is what kept me sane. Not just Tita Jerry, but also my lovely friends in the competition. I made really good friends with Miss Japan, Miss Taiwan especially. In fact, Miss Japan invited me to her wedding, which she might hold in the Philippines. Isn't that so cute? And I also made really good friends with my roommate, Miss Belgium, and I shared some videos of her literally sewing me into dresses, her repairing my dresses. A zipper broke in one of my dresses, and instead of just leaving me and going to dinner buffet early, she stood there with me in the bathroom, because she's a designer too, by the way. So yeah, she's really talented. She was there sewing up my dress. She would be there hemming my pants properly. She was my support system. Even when I was crying, she would be rushing to me. And if Luna hears this, I want to say thank you so much to Luna. Not just Luna, but to her entire family back home in Belgium who cheered for me and who supported me. I think these are the women that really put the sister and sisterhood, especially in pageants. There were some girls that I did not get so close to, but the girls that I did get close to, I consider to be friends for life. And thank you for pointing that out. I think I'm known to be a very emotional person. I am very hard on myself. I hold myself to a very, very high standard. And after every single, well, I only joined like 3 pageants, but after every single one of those pageants, usually I would end up in tears, whether that's happy tears, mainly sad tears. But yeah, I just want to be honest. I used to be the person that if something did not go my way, I would sob violently about it. And surprisingly, I was the one girl in that room that was not crying. And people would always tell me, oh, you don't want to be first runner-up, you know, second place is first loser. And the way I was jumping, I have videos of me and Miss Belgium learning dances and jumping around after. You would think that I won the whole pageant because of how happy I was. And you know, you had some girls backstage that were sobbing on the floor, hiccuping because of how devastated they were. And then again, you had me like twirling around, literally rolling on the floor because of how happy I was. And I think my big development was that I stopped holding myself to such a high standard and I started celebrating my victories. Like I mentioned earlier, after every single cut, or right before every single cut rather, I was so nervous, but I would tell myself, whatever happens, I'm happy to be here. I'm proud of myself. I won best national costume, best evening gown. I got sick and I recovered. I'm proud of myself. And I think that's what got me further and further, because you could see it on my face. You could see how happy and at ease I was, that there was no space in my head for anxiety and nervousness. All you could see on stage was that I was performing and that I was focused and also having a good time. And so that would be my main development in my pageant journey, is that I would say my mental fortitude improved, but also I started celebrating myself more, and that's what led me to celebrate my victory. I would suggest vomiting in the hospital. So I just said how I didn't cry, but it's kind of a lie. So when they were calling out our names for the introduction to say like our name and our country, I was thinking, it's Sina. Why am I here? Why am I so far in the back? I'm C, you know, because Cebu City. And I looked up and I was like, oh, P, oops. And then that's when it hit me. I wasn't just wearing Cebu Cebu anymore. I was wearing Philippines. And I looked down and I was looking at the other girls and it was just like, I started crying there because I was thinking, wow, like I'm finally here, I'm representing our country. And so little girls have that honor. And I was there with like red eyes, like tears coming out, and I was always like, okay, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But the pride really is there to know that these people chose you to represent them. And I know that people say representing the Philippines comes with so much pressure, and yes it does, because you are being watched. Your every move is being watched and critiqued to a higher degree, I'd say. And you don't just get critiqued by other countries, but also by your own countrymen. But what kind of makes up for that is the small victories that you do have. You get thousands and thousands of messages of Filipinos saying, wow, I'm so proud of you. Complete strangers who you have never heard of or met in your life. People saying, wow, I screamed when I saw Philippines. And to walk on that stage and to hear not just Philippines but also Chantal, to hear people screaming your name when you are wearing your sash, it just fills you with so much pride. That's how I would describe the difference of competing nationally and internationally. National costume and my eco dress. Oh, evening gowns. Okay. So I'll start with my national costume, which was made by a Bacolod designer called Chino Crisopis. Shout out to you, Chino, we won! So usually, because as you know, I'm from Origin Management. As you all know, Origin usually works with Axel, which I wanted to give a big shout out also to Miss Ax for making my eco dress. But as many of you also know, my mom and my grandparents are from Bacolod. And I was thinking, how can I set myself apart this time? What can I do different? I have joined 2 national pageants already with 1 national costume. How do I step up from that masterpiece that Miss Ax created back in 2022? And I thought, this was while I was filming my introduction video. I was talking about the impact of the legacy of my grandfather on the city of Bacolod. And that's when it clicked to me that I wanted a national costume based off of my other hometown, Bacolod. And the story of Bacolod Mascara Festival is that, of course, the people at the time were experiencing famine and hunger and depression and sadness, and what they did was mask that and create an entirely new festival that is now worth celebrating, that is now celebrated all over the world. And if that is not my Miss Eco International journey, then I don't know what else is. I don't know how else I can honor my grandfather in a better way. And I think it was also very symbolic of my journey, you know, that very morning, that just prior to the competition, I was about to give up. I was sobbing and vomiting, and I told myself, you know, even if I don't feel great, I'm gonna go up there and fake it till I make it, to the point where I didn't have to fake it anymore. And so the whole mask thing was very, very symbolic in that sense also. And then for my evening gowns, those were by Baltaguba, of course. And he really is my fairy godmother. He really believed in me, and he really worked on my gowns for so long. We actually had another gown that was supposed to be my prelims gown, and it was an entirely different design. And I think 1.5 to 2 weeks before I left, we experienced a major malfunction with that gown, and we had to scrap the whole design. Any other designer with 1.5 weeks left before I leave would have panicked and said, I cannot do this anymore, you have to find someone else. Or any other designer would have just given me an old gown of theirs, which is completely acceptable. But Val went up and beyond. He made so many spare gowns, if you will, so that in the event of the preliminary gown or even the finals gown not turning out the way we wanted it to, we were just easily able to replace it just like that. And that speaks not just to his talent, but also to his dedication. He didn't just give up. He didn't just abandon me when things got difficult. He really persevered, and I think that's one of the reasons. I'm a very spiritual person, so I think that's one of the reasons why we won Best in Evening Gown, because we both persevered when we could have gotten the easy way out. We both went up and beyond, and for that, I want to thank him so much. Rick Sotelo, DJ Rick Sotelo. Yes, Rick styled me. Thank you so much to Rick, and of course, Rachel, the pride of the Philippines, yes.